ball game in favor of Canarsie, and a big surprise here in the early going. Big favor of Kennedy then.
Big surprise, and I'll tell you, this Przeski looks like the kind of kicker they've been boasting about. He can actually do it, moving that ball on for the extra point.
You know who he looks like?
Now let's watch him on this this kickoff. That was great.
Comedian.
Here comes the replay for us.
And Andre Wyatt with the second touchdown of the day. And a nice block from number 2, Peter Clark, to help spring him free, and went right into the end zone.
And number 75, Stevens, was standing there. He started to do something, but he was big enough to screen him off, and so he'll get credit for a good block.
So 7:13 remains in this first quarter, and Kennedy leads it now 14-0.
Well, I know over in Brooklyn, Pete Cerami and Steffi Cerami, my secretary and brother, are out there with their hearts down because they're big Canarsie people, have lived there all their lives.
Back deep for Canarsie, Corey Peterson and Corey Harper along with Nigel Lawrence. And here's Pisetsky's kick. Harper stays out of the way of it. And the kick is taken by Peterson, and Peterson returns the ball to the 23-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Canarsie. And so Canarsie will put it into play, 1st and 10, just outside their own 20-yard line. And they've got a lot to make up, and very quickly. A little more than 5 minutes in this ball game, less than 5 minutes in this ball game. They're already down 14-0, and it's 1st and 10 for Canarsie from their own 24-yard line. Interestingly, Aubrey, they tried that little flea flicker on the first play, which could have gotten them back into it. 6 plays, 60 yards, took them only 2 minutes and 41 seconds. And here is Bennett handing the ball off to Dave Shahada, the fullback. And Shahada goes nowhere, maybe picks up 1 yard at the 25-yard line. David Gibson, the left end, 6'3", 185 pounds, comes in on the stop for JFK. It'll be a 2nd down and 9.
Gibson fought off his man very well and got to the tackle. That was a good line play, good defensive line play.
Dave Shahada, high school Heisman All-American. His brother last year, Sam, was a Heisman All-American. The dominant player in this football team. 2nd down and 9. Handoff straight up the middle this time to about the 29-yard line. Corey Harper was the man on the carry, and Harper picks up 5 yards on the play, and it'll be a 3rd down coming up, a 3rd down and about 4.
When you're 14 points back, Spence, sometimes you want to make it in a hurry, but neither of these teams strike with passes in a hurry. They generally grind it out and are able to hit through that first defensive thrust and move on down the field for the running touchdown.
And that's really what Mike Cameradisi has to avoid right here. There's plenty of time. Down 2 touchdowns. But we're talking about a team that scored 308 points in 11 games this year. On the 3rd down play, Bennett looks to throw, overthrows, the ball is intercepted, now fumbled away, rolls free at about the 45-yard line. The interception was made by Saladin Dorsey, who had that touchdown earlier, and then he bobbled the ball away, and it will belong to JFK.
On that time, Lenny Bennett simply was on the wrong foot, threw the ball, and it sailed. And when it sailed, the 2 defensive backs were back there waiting for it. Didn't have to do much to get to it. They were almost in a prevent defense. Let's take another look at it.
So Dorsey, who has returned a kickoff for a touchdown, now comes up with an interception.
Watch Bennett. Ball sails a bit. Right there, ready for number 21. Saladin Dorsey.
So it's 1st and 10 for Kennedy from the 45-yard line. We may get a delay of a game penalty.
Got a dead ball, false start.
False start was the call.
Still 1st down.
False start. That means, folks, that somebody moved. Great to see what some of the coaches have to say in all kinds of situations. I'm wondering what Mike Cameradisi is saying right now, but he's saying, come on, guys, get it going.
This is very unlike the Canarsie team that has made it here to the finals. Wyatt and Clark are the running backs, and 1st and 15 from midfield. handoff goes to Wyatt, smacks up the middle, carries tacklers with him, and gets 7 yards on the play before he's stopped by Dave Shahada. So you're getting a look at Andre Wyatt. He's 5'7", 190 pounds, a senior. Gained 1,050 yards during the season, and the touchdown today is 18th of the year, and he's got 5 carries thus far for 15 yards.
And that 17 touchdowns means he likes to go to the end zone.
Second down and 8. Wyatt and Clark remain the running backs. Out wide to the near side is Rashawn Smith. He's going nowhere. Good defense that time. Keenan Gilliam, the left cornerback, coming up, number 13, along with Shakri Lewis, combining to make the stop. And it'll bring up a 3rd down now. 3rd down and 10 coming up for Kennedy. And Canarsie's got to dig in right here. They cannot afford to give up another score. They can really not afford to allow another sustained drive.
I don't think they are. They are ready for it. Shakri Lewis that time, who was in on that tackle, came up to me and said, you know, Aubrey Lewis, I've been watching you a long time, and I have a brother who is named Aubrey Lewis. So folks back home, there's someone named after me.
Another Aubrey Lewis. Here's the 3rd down and 10 play. Hand off to Wyatt. Breaks 1 tackle, but he's going to be shy of the 1st down. Gets 5, perhaps 6 yards, down to the 40-yard line. Basheen Foster, the left end, 6', 185-pound junior, into the stop. 3 of the 4 on the front 4 for Canarsie, for Mike Camardisi, are underclassmen, are juniors. So on 4th down, Pisetsky will come on, and they will kick the ball away. Pisetsky punts, about 35 yards, an average kick, and he can kick those field goals.
We saw him putting some through at 50 yards out. Let's see what he does on this particular.
Corey Peterson is back in single safety. Pisetsky's kick, nice high sailing. Peterson will let it bounce. But what a kick out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Vitaly Pisetsky backs Canarsie back to their 2 with 2:22 to go in the 1st quarter, and Kennedy leading it by a score of 14-0. They'll hold it for us? Yeah.
Looks like a 15-yarder, wasn't it?
Waist. Block him below the waist against the offense. 4th down, repeat.
Well, a break for Canarsie, a penalty against Kennedy, blocking below the waist, which sets it back a 15-yard penalty, and Kennedy will have to kick it again instead of being backed up to the 2. Watch that block right there, left side of your screen.
There's a block below the waist. And now they kick back from his own 27.
Pisetsky gets off another good kick. 41-yard kick by Vitaly Pisetsky, a 5'9", 170-pound junior.
Another flag.
And we get another flag. And this kid can kick at
15 yards.
Another 15-yarder. Aubrey, we've been doing these games for more than 20 years. I don't remember another punter kicker combination like this.
No, I think this is probably the best we've seen, and they say that he's the kind who could go to major schools and then possibly go off to the pros. He's that kind of a person. Now watch this go down to the oops.
Roughing the kicker.
Oh, this is roughing the kicker on Canarsie's side. So they're going to get their 15 yards back, and it'll be their 1st down. So Kennedy keeps the ball.
Bad mistake. And the penalty against Shakri Lewis, number 56. So Chris Lambert comes back out, and Mike Canarsie for Canarsie on the sidelines. Lambert, the quarterback, the 5'7", 140-pound junior, brings his team up to the line of scrimmage. Lone setback is Andre Wyatt on 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line of Canarsie. Fernando Dow goes in motion. Strong side left, double tight end. Here's Wyatt. We get flags all over the place. Make it another delay of game right here. Took a long time to get that one underway.
What they're playing with as they moved their, actually it's their tight end.
Got a dead ball. False start. What do you have?
Another one of those false starts.
First down.
But as they move their tight ends from side to side, they are actually have a tackle who is eligible, and so they have been telling the officials each time that it's a tackle eligible thing. So I believe it's number 73 all the way over on that side is the person who is actually it's 73. Yes, he's the person who is eligible.
Chris Kinlock, the guy they call Fruit Truck. It's Gary Miller coming in motion. Miller on the delay, hit right at the line of scrimmage and banged down for a loss in the play. Back to the 49-yard line. Rodnell Planton and his brother Rodmir, number 42, number 89, and number 42 combining on the stop. Twin brothers going at it, and a loss of a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down at 16.
Chris Kenlock, Spencer said that you hit people like a fruit truck, and that's why they call you fruit truck. But we know that you're 6'2", 285-pound, and you're a junior, and we know why you're called fruit truck.
2nd down and 16 coming up now. Wyatt and Clark, the running backs, handoff Clark, and then a return inside handoff to Gary Miller, who breaks tackles and comes up near a 1st down. A double handoff. And a pretty one indeed. Dave Shahada came in on the stop, a gain of 12 yards on the play, and Miller was the man who finally got the football.
That was some very interesting handwork. Now watch this thing as they bring it back to us.
Quarter will run out here. And it'll be a 3rd down and 3. When the 2nd quarter gets underway, we'll take a look at that play when we return. But after 1, John F. Kennedy has stormed out to a big lead. They lead Canarsie by a score of 14-0. Third down and 3. Coming up here for John F. Kennedy as they have moved down to the 38-yard line of Canarsie. Kennedy leads it by a score of 14-0. And Wyatt on the carry does not get the 1st down. It'll bring up a 4th down. The stop on the play made right by the center of that line, Shakri Lewis. You know, going back to that 3rd down play, which was really a beauty. A big gainer right here, a double handoff.
Watch this inside. He's got the ball. Now hands on the inside. There was also 85 who was cross blocking, coming across. Great play.
Went to Gary Miller and then to Peter Clark, and Miller is Clark rather than to Miller, and close to the 1st down. 4th down now, and 4, and Kennedy's going to go for it down at the 39-yard line of Canarsie. Just underway here in the 2nd quarter. They pack in tight. And the handoff, Clark has the 1st down. Peter Clark broke a tackle right at about the 35-yard line, and finally Rodnell Plantin is the man who brought him down. 3 carries for 17 yards for Peter Clark, and a big 1st down, which keeps this drive going. A drive that should have ended if not for a roughing the kicker penalty against Canarsie.
That was just a little bit. Here comes that play again, and watch this to the inside, moving. Clark cuts in well off of 71's block, but number 13 is there to pull him down, Kenny Gilliam.
1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. In motion comes Gary Miller. Now Clark spins around and back to pass. The pass deflected, incomplete, intended for Wyatt. And Keenan Gilliam is the man who deflected it away. Chris Lambert's pass wobbled up in the air, and Keenan Gilliam, the 5'10", 170-pound senior, who Coach Canarsie calls the ultimate team player. Could be headed for Southern Connecticut to play his college football.
He'll do very well here. As you watch this, he misses number 85.